Hey, welcome back. If this is your first time, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Michelle, and we're the Wandering Shores. Today we're camping at Santee Coastal Reserve.
Santee Coastal Reserve is a free camping area about 45 minutes north of Charleston, South Carolina. Today we're going to take a hike that's literally steps away from our campsite. It's called the Orman Hall Trail Hike, and it's about 6.2 miles, and we're going to take you along with us. We expect, or hope, to see some gators. Well, she doesn't. And a lot of it is along a beautiful boardwalk that they've built through the swamp. So we'll show you as we make progress. See you soon. All right, we're about 1/10 of the mile in from the trailhead, and as you can kind of see behind me, it was a long corridor kind of walking down amongst the marshes. We have now come to the beginning of the boardwalk. It says maximum of 10 people. We'll kind of show you as we go. It says maximum of 10 people. This boardwalk's really long, so I'm not sure how you're supposed to know if other people are already on there, but as you can see here, this is a wildlife and bird sanctuary, and I anticipate seeing lots of really cool birds. And as we had talked about, gators! It's about 6.5 miles, so if we get lucky, we're going to see one. And Michelle probably will not be in that part of the video because she'll be running the other direction. So as we go along this boardwalk, we'll show you what we stumble upon. Thanks. Well, as you can begin to expect from the Wandering Shores, we're probably going to continue to wander. So fast forward from the video clip you just saw about 30 seconds, and apparently the boardwalk ends. So this is clearly not the beginning of the trail. This is just a simple boardwalk walking out into the marsh to kind of take a look. It's still beautiful, but it is definitely not the beginning of the Orman Trail. So we're going to have to do a quick reassessment. I can understand now the limit of 10 people because it's not very long, but it is pretty out here. You can hear the birds. I'll be quiet for a second. All right, we'll be back once we walk back to the beginning of the boardwalk and see if we need to take that other ramp over to the other side and start the hike over there. All right, we are back on the correct trail. We actually didn't realize that the boardwalk was more of just like a scenic picture taking part of the trail, and we just had to go across the bridge that was right there that you probably saw in the first segment. So we're back on the trail. This is a combination of the marshland trail as well. So for a while we're going to stay here on the marshland trail, and then we will kick over onto the larger Orman Trail. All right, we'll take you along. So this section of the trail is pretty much double wide. Looks like an old road of some sort. Still may be used by the DNR staff, etc. Right amongst all these trees, Spanish moss hanging everywhere. It's really cool. We heard a animal of some sort making some really bizarre noises. Not sure what it is, but Michelle keeps looking behind her to make sure nothing's coming after us.
I do. Gotta always look over my shoulder.
As you can see right behind Michelle is some water. We're actually going to stop up here and take a snack. There's a little information placard and possibly a little area where we can sit. We'll check back in. hit the jackpot here. We're from Indiana, and we've seen pine cones in our life, but not pine cones this big. Look at these suckers.
They're as big as your head.
That thing's huge. I think we found a decoration for the camper. All right, we hit the halfway point. We're at 3.2 miles. So much of this trail, or pretty much all of the trail outside the beginning portion that you guys saw, is going to be on this old logging road. So there's not a ton of scenery. Looks like periodically people come back here with vehicles, so there's a little bit of mud, some trenches dug out, but it's not too bad. It's more of an exercise loop, I would suggest. If you're looking for scenery, this is probably not the one to hike on. Sorry if you can hear my little bear bell jingling. It's hunting season down here, and there's warning signs everywhere that there's waterfowl hunters out here, and that we're supposed to wear orange when possible, but we don't have any orange, so we're wearing red. But I figured the bell would also help, you know, let the hunter know that I'm not some type of a duck. All right, so we'll take you along as we can. I'm not sure what else to expect. Again, we're about halfway through. I'm thinking it's going to be much of the same, but if we don't bring you back during the hike, we'll bring you back at the end to give a recap. And special alert, we're going to give you a tour of our campsite so you can see what free camping looks like here in Santee Coastal Reserve in South Carolina. Thanks. We're back. So we just finished the trail. There was a section of the trail called the Cape Trail, which went out around the fish pond that we were actually not able to take today. There was a sign up and a chain across it saying that it's closed November 1st through February, I believe. So I don't know if that's for management control, or perhaps if there was flooding, or if it's for open hunting season, which is my guess is that's what it's for. So we are at the end. We ended up at 5.75 miles. We got about a 2/3 of a mile or less down to our campground, and we'll show you around there. But yeah, this trail was very pretty, very quiet. We were the only ones, the people we saw. We found those huge pine cones, and we saw a bunch of horse trail tracks. So I'm assuming that at some point you can ride horses out here. I don't know if there's regulation or not, but we'll show you around our campsite here real shortly. Thanks. All right, we are back at the campsite. So just wanted to take you around and show you a little bit about our site here. We are in site number 2, which was really large. It's huge. You know, if you had 3 or 4 campers, you could probably fit it in here. So again, this is free. The only stipulation is you can only stay for up to 4 nights. A lot of times in BLM land and National Forest land, you can stay up to 14, but this one limits you to 4. There's a check-in station at the very beginning where you just kind of sign in and write out the permit and drop it in the box. So here we go. You can see over there, that's site number 1. A lady just pulled in today in that van, but here we are in site number 2. You can see we've got a very large site. There's plenty of clearance with the trees up above. We're at around 10'9", so even at a regular large RV at 13+ feet, you will be perfectly fine. We've got a ton of space. It comes with a picnic table and a fire pit. Our fire pit actually has fire pit tools on it, so we're not sure if somebody forgot those. Michelle's going to go check and see if the other fire pits have them or if they were provided. So we may be using those tonight to start a fire. But yeah, as you can see, we have a ton of space our campsite basically goes over to probably that second set of trees there. There's campsite 4 clear over there. So as you can see, we have a huge site. So if you're ever down here, you know, most of the sites are about this size, but really you can't go wrong, and it's completely free. So hope you enjoyed our outing today. We'll keep you posted on our next video as well, so make sure that you give the thumbs up, you subscribe, and if you want to be notified as soon as we produce a video and put it out, just hit the notification bell.